Exactly. So, yesterday, Rhys Conklin, he took the win. He got the W, took first place in round one, and then followed with Andrew Shorkey, coming out all the way out of Toronto, Canada, which I think he had a license before. So he took second, and then Nicholas Abbott rounded third, and then of course you see there fourth and fifth, Chris Krudel and Wesley Cloud. So right now we've got some drivers there getting ready to go into the burnout box. And I think we've got Rhys with a bye run, and so we want to go ahead and see. I think he's about to get into the burnout box there and get him to the start line.
Yeah, he's going to be entering our new thing this year, which is the East10 Drift burnout box, something that we've never, obviously with a stream it's great, but you get to see these guys scrub in their front tires, get some heat in them, but also create some of that GT radial smoke out of the rear to get some heat in those as well for some just the best grip possible. So
exactly. So I would kind of half jokingly tell these guys, for the past few seasons, like, I don't care about the fluff, right? The fluff is a ton of signage, or the spectators and the vendors and all that sort of thing, right? We're really focusing on what matters most is, again, teaching these drivers. So this year, that's not the case. We're on live stream. We got to make this look super legit as much as we can at our level of organization. And we've got signage. We've got we got to represent those sponsors out there on track. We got to represent them here on the live stream itself. So again, our goal is to give you a quality product here at the track for the drivers, and also for you viewers at home, and share it up. We'd love for you guys to share up the live stream if you can, if you're watching right now, or if you're just catching us. Again, Louis Garza here, Tyler Berry, East10 Drift. So I think we are about to see Rhys Conklin go with his bye run.
The judges are clearing. We are going to send Rhys out for his bye run. Just sit back, enjoy the show, and watch the GT radial tire smoke.
It's like a pro-spec ready car.
Yeah, that car actually is a pro-spec ready car. Came from pro-spec. He was fortunate enough to get his hands on it. It's a car that's 300 to 400 horsepower more than the car he drove last year, but it's very well put together. It's ready for him to make that jump if he comes through and grabs his license for the year. So
right,
little to no changes.
Exactly. And that's what we want to see, right? We want to make sure that these guys are following that tech book, right? That rule book. How do you set your car up? Getting it to where ideally maybe you got a couple little items to add, right? To add to your build, or just to adjust, so then that way you're not spending a ton of money on having a brand new build needed for that pro-spec season. And so one of the things that we're proud of, and we're a bit unique with right now as an organization in ProAm, is that we're the only Formula Drift ProAm series that's a spec tire series. So everybody right now is on the tire that they would be in pro-spec, right? So GT Radial USA, shout out to them. They are able to basically wrap these wheels in their rubber, the same series, the Champero SR2s, super grippy. Some of these guys, they're looking at that challenge of, wow, my car's super different with this tire, right? So thank again to Racetress for putting all that together. They have their crew here. So right now at the line we've got looks like Wyndham, right? We've got Wyndham and Brewski. So yeah, not Dimitri Brewski, but Jacob Brewski. So Dimitri's son coming out, chasing. We got Wyndham leading, hitting that touch and go, right? Setting himself up right for outer zone 1. Brewski looks a little bit lost. Wyndham filling that outer zone 1, going into outer zone 2. Dimitri trying to gain traction back and catch up. Nice transition into outer zone 3. Dimitri really trying to get back on his door. Wow, that was pretty cool, right? So, Brewski, Jacob, Dimitri's son, right? So Jacob, just trying to figure out the track and what's going on, chasing. A little bit surprising, because in practice he looked pretty solid, but Wyndham compared to yesterday, wow.
Yeah, he threw out a nice lead run for Brewski to chase there. You can see both of them, or the lead driver missed the touch and go there, but Brewski just got kind of lost in the smoke, was unable to make it out to that outer zone 1, trying to keep up with Wyndham, but Wyndham throwing down a pretty solid lead run there for Brewski. we're going to flip them around. Brutski's going to lead Wyndham for our next part of this battle.
Yeah, so second half of the battle here, we're switching the drivers. Brutski's going to be leading, and so Wyndham's going to chase. And so let's see if we get a clean run out of Brutski. And so we're going to call this power rally, right? So these guys got to gun it. They got to get, they got to build up that speed to get themselves at the initiation point at angle. So here we go. Brutski trying to make up for that run. Wyndham just needs a solid chase run. If he could just maintain some proximity there, just going out of outer zone 1 just a little bit. But Wyndham just pulling it together, maintaining some proximity there. And it looks like Wyndham may have the advantage. So, you know, a pretty solid run by Brutski. Unfortunately, he didn't have the greatest chase run, but we're going to look at this replay and see what we can capture here because, you know, I've got to make a call.
Yeah, so coming out of the chute, Brutski is right on that inner clip into the touch and go while Wyndham's trying to suck back up to the door. Unfortunately, goes a little wider than Brutski there, having to check up, but as a driver should, he's figuring out how to get back up to the door, has to miss outer zone 2 a little bit, but comes back up to Brutski for outer 3 and a solid finish to the run.
So yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. I think we'll probably have to see a replay on the first half of the battle because I mean, for me, you know, and I've got to kind of nitpick a little bit, right? I've got to see who had a better lead, who had a better chase, right? Obviously, Brutski didn't do too great on the chase, so yeah, like let's just take a look at that run one more time. So yeah, Wyndham was a little bit shy of the touch and go. And shy of outer zone 2. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I'm sure, especially during that time, Brutski knew that he had to push it because of the deficit in his chase run. So, you know, I'm sure his dad let him know, you know, hey, we need you to just give your best lead run here and just hope that there's mistakes made behind you to kind of, you know, recoup from what happened. So,
right.
And he did just that. Like,
yeah,
laid down a great lead run.
You know, being able to see both runs really helps, especially with that instant replay. You know, maybe we'll get a side-by-side view one day or on the next round or something like that. But you know, it's a tough decision for sure.
Judges are going to make their decisions. You will see the graphic once they have those decisions locked in, where we will figure out if we will see a winner from the Never Settle crew of Jacob Brutski or Mr. Wyndham, or one more time if the judges feel that, you know, we had some mistakes on both ends and we just want to see it go another time. Obviously the crowd loves one more times, but it's also more seat time for the drivers, but they obviously want to move quickly through the bracket as fast as they can to solidify their win. So.
Exactly.
Let's get this graphic popped up here, see what our judges are thinking.
Yeah, that was a tough call for me. And we'll talk about it. We'll see what the turnout is. We'll see what the other two judges think. There we go. So we got a one more time, a unanimous decision. It's a one more time. All right. So we're going to get these guys back to the pit, let them get new tires on. It's a one more time, and we'll get the next battle to the line.
Yeah, like I said, it's always a fan favorite to do one more times. I know especially in FD, whenever you get up there and you see all the guys rubbing doors and the high intensity runs, you want to see those again and again and again. But
exactly. And you don't want, you know, we really try to analyze these runs. We don't want to make the bad call, right? One of the things that we don't do in our series is protests. There's no protests here. You know, a call's a call. You got to live with it. You got to figure out what you got to do the next time you get to battle, right? So, you know, we take notes, and mentally, you know, mental notes are tough, right? So we got to write them down or we got to record them. But then that way the drivers can ask us at the end of the day, like, hey, you know, what did I do wrong?
Right.
It's very seldom a driver will be like, wow, what did I do right? How did I win, right? But we like to have that information just in case.
Right. We've got our next battle pulling up to the line here. We have Chris Kutrell and Joshua Dennis. Krudel will be leading first.
Here we go. Oh, getting deep into that inner clip. Missing the touch and go out a little bit, but that's fine. He set himself up right for outer zone 1, filling that in. He looks like he's so let's see what happens. I mean,
All things are possible in drifting.
Okay. So we're, you know, you always hear like Jared, you know, with Formula Drift talk about like the announcer's curse, right? You don't ever want, I don't know, superstitious, if you will, but hopefully, you know, none of that happens today. But let's just see what happens here. We're battling some challenges here with the win. So here we go. Dennis leading the win. So here we go. Dennis leading. He hits that mark there. Little, getting into that touch and go into outer zone 1. Nice line. Getting into that touch and go into outer zone 1. Nice line. Oh no, and Crudo straightens out. Dennis getting into, and Crudo straightens out. Dennis getting into outer zone 2, into outer zone 2. Nice transition there, Kudos maintaining. Nice transition there, Kudos maintaining some proximity there as Dennis. That's gonna be an interesting run for sure. We're gonna need to look at some instant replay, what our calls are gonna be here.
Yeah, so both drivers out power alley again. Transitioning there. Both of them hitting the inner clip. Unfortunately go, but comes up a little short there due to over rotation. Dennis laying it into the zones, nice and clean. Crudel trying to suck back up to the door here. Both.
Stumbling here with our internet, our live stream still. Stumbling here with our.
We're excited to announce Friday night drifts at Newport Speedway, kicking off May 16th. ProAm has wanted a home track, a reliable venue where drivers and fans can come together every weekend. Now, that Newport Speedway and the amazing family behind it. But that's not all. We're introducing the night drift event. Drivers will go head-to-head in tandem drift battles for a full hour, and the crowd decides the winner. It all starts May 16th, and you won't want to miss it. Stay updated at East10Drift.com. We'll see you at the track.
Make some noise for the Drift Nation. Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Streets of Long Beach, surrounded by skyscrapers in the Pacific Ocean.
Official, we've begun Formula Drift.
Big things are coming to East 10 Drift. We're excited to announce Friday night drifts at Newport Speedway, kicking off May 16th. For years, the East 10 Drift team has wanted a home track, a reliable venue where drivers and fans can come together every weekend. Now, that dream is a reality, thanks to Newport Speedway and the amazing family behind it. But that's not all. We're introducing the Battle Night Power Hour. During each Friday night drift event, drivers will go head-to-head in tandem drift battles for a full hour, and the crowd decides the winner. It all starts May 16th, and you won't want to miss it. Stay updated at East 10 Drift. Big things are coming to East 10 Drift. We're excited to announce Friday night drifts at Newport Speedway, kicking off May 16th. For years, the East 10 Drift team has wanted a home track, a reliable venue where drivers and fans can come together every weekend. Now, that dream is a reality, thanks to Newport Speedway and the amazing family behind it. But that's not all. We're introducing the Battle Night Power Hour. During each Friday night drift event, drivers will go head-to-head in tandem drift battles for a full hour, and the crowd decides the winner. It all starts May 16th, and you won't want to miss it. Stay updated at East10Drift.com. We'll see you at the track.
Make some noise for the Drift Nation. Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Make a lasting impression with AZRag's custom and commercial vinyl wraps. As a 3M certified graphics installation company, we deliver top quality wraps designed for durability, precision, and eye-catching appeal. Whether you're branding a fleet or giving your vehicle a fresh new look, trust our expert team to bring your vision to life. Stand out on the road. Contact AZRag today.
I was broke, pocket full of lit. Now I'm on the bricks, getting paid like no other dog. Now I'm stacking chips.
Streets of Long Beach, surrounded by skyscrapers in the Pacific Ocean.
Official, we've begun Moto Drift round 1. Let's send it!
Drivers pushing over 1,000 horsepower.
Put up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off.
Get your tickets now.
lose track of that flair of that style, right? And so we were in between the figuring out everything. We were talking to one of the spotters for John Wyndham and trying to figure out what caused him to lose that battle. It was a 2-to-1 vote on that, and ultimately it came down to Jacob Brewski being more aggressive on his lead and on his chase. Unfortunately, due to an assumption, Wyndham's team, felt that they, could advise, their driver to just, on the chase run, don't overdo it. So, all right, at the line right now, we've got Chris Krudel leading Joshua Dennis for the one more time call. And so, yeah, let's check it out. Krudel, I think that's like an all Kevlar kit he's got in his car here. So getting out of the chicane, hitting the initiation there, going right. Ooh, oh no, Dennis loses it. Krudel has to maintain his line, right? He can't stop drifting. Now, if he was a chase driver, it'd be fine, but he's got to complete the run. He's got to put down a nice, clean line. There's no pressure. Nobody's behind him. Dennis, unfortunately, made a mistake and spun out there. So. Joshua Dennis on a deficit with that mishap there, and just maybe he just misread Krudel's run. So let's look at the replay there.
Yeah, it looks like he might have just over rotated around that inner clip, causing him to just spin completely around. Obviously, Krudel putting down a lead run that's going to be acceptable for the run there, and putting it in the zones. I think he was a little out of outer 1, but outer 2, outer 3 looked decent. But now Dennis is at a huge deficit. I think he's definitely got to lay down a solid lead run and hope that there are some mistakes made by Krudel behind him to move forward.
Yeah. So, the pressure's on, right? So, Dennis, like you said, he's just got to put on like 100, a 100, a lead run. Krudel, on the other hand, man, he needs to mimic that line. He needs to show us some proximity, and just obviously he probably wants to be a little bit conservative as well, right? So there's no need to overdo it unless something goes wrong in Josh's lead run. So here we go, Joshua Dennis leading. Let's see if so going into the out of the touch and go into outer zone 1. Joshua just being shy of outer zone 1, going into outer zone 2. Let's see where he lands there. Chris maintaining proximity, nice clean line. Joshua does fill that zone. Outer zone 3, Joshua enters properly, filling that zone as well, all the way through the finish line. So nice solid run, but I think unfortunately Krudel will have the advantage. So let's see what the judges decide.
Yeah, so off the rip here we have both drivers initiating. Krudel taking a little bit of a step back there. I think he's trying to play it safe. Dennis getting it, he's not quite getting into.
That's going to kind of maybe seal the deal here for Andy Hardy. So, the judges will deliberate and try to, compare notes and, come up with the decision here. I think I know which way I'm going to vote, but we'll see what the other judges come up with.
Yeah, so kind of similar to the first run there. Hardy a little wide on outer 1, unfortunately goes completely off. Glasscock maintaining composure, sucks right up to the door. At this point, Glasscock probably knows that he just has to finish the run behind him, but don't ever leave that up to the judges there. You want to make sure that you're running your proper line, maintaining proximity, and yeah, so I think from my viewpoint, not a judge, but I think that this is going to be a pretty straightforward judging call due to the multiple mistakes there made in the lead and chase from Hardy. If you don't know what that car is that you're seeing on screen, it's actually a Holden Ute, or sort of like a small truck from Australia. Andy Hardy has been fortunate enough to grab this truck or car, and it's actually got an Australian V8 engine in it, pushing, I don't know how much power, but I want to say it's probably near 1,000, 1,200 horsepower. So it's a very strong animal of a car. And it is right-hand drive, so he is driving on the right side of the vehicle, which I think that is the only car out on the grid this weekend that is right-hand drive.
All right, so it looks like Matthew Glasscock gets the win. Matthew Glasscock gets the win. Oh, we got our graphic back. Sorry, I spoiled it. That's a unanimous.
Wildberry coming in clutch with the surprises, man. He's been over there working on it and finally got it working.
All right, super stoked. So inch by inch here, we're trying to get everything back to normal. Thank you for your patience over there on the viewing side. Share it up. I mean, even though if we have our hiccups, right? This is our first time back doing live stream. Thankfully, with the support of Race Treads, we were able to put this together. Just ideally, we want our live stream to match our performance with the way we run our organization for our drivers, and so we'll get there, right? Inch by inch. We weren't perfect on our first season of ProAm, but we built our way to what it is today. And so again, one of the things that I'm super proud of is the fact that we are a unique ProAm series for Formula Drift. We are the only spec tire series in the country as of right now. Putting these guys on the GT radials, the Chimperius R2s that they use in ProSpec, right? So it only makes sense. Like if you're trying to get to ProSpec, like let's simulate that as much as we can. Let's get you ready. Let's make it to where it's almost a seamless transition for when you win that license.
All right. I think we're moving on to our next battle here. We have Abbott leading Alan Boss.
All right, here we go. We got Abbott going out, interclip one. He's got to get to that touch and go. Wow, putting in that angle, getting himself ready for outer zone one. Falling short, throwing Alan Boss off his line, going into outer zone 2, filling the zone, what looks like pretty properly there. Nice transition. Alan's trying to catch up. Nicholas filling that outer zone 3 zone pretty well. So lots of angle there coming out of that touch and go. If you push yourself too far out of the touch and go, you're not setting yourself up right for outer zone 1.
I agree. Yeah, we'll take a look at this replay here. Both cars coming down. Abbott hugging the inside clip there. Unfortunately, Boss looked like he was pushing a little, causing him to get offline. Abbott not quite in outer 1 until the very end. Boss trying to play catch up. Again, Abbott not in that outer 2 until the end. Boss trying to do everything he can to catch back up. Like I said, it was one of those deals where you got to kind of play catch up, and you just do whatever you can.
Yeah, no, that's the challenging part, right? Trying to make up ground for a slight mistake, and be it the fault of the lead driver or just you had an accident and slip up or whatever. But now he may be at a bit of a deficit. So now we're flipping the script here. We got Alan Boss in the lead position with Nicholas Abbott about to give chase.
Here we go.
All right, Mr. Mo Man over there sending it. All right, here we go. Alan Boss. Station point, hitting the inner clip. Oh no! Whoa! No! We have contact. Alan Boss just over-rotating. Something's up. He may have something going on with his car.
Yeah, I think that is definitely a tricky part of the track with the speed you've got and the amount of angle you have to get it. If you don't get it just correct.
And that's just, looks like it could have been just a little bit of a love tap, thankfully, so no crazy damage done to Abbott's car or Alan Boss's car. So
yeah, and I know you guys didn't see Alan yesterday if you were paying attention to the bracket. He actually suffered from some vehicle failure on the way here, so he was unable to make it to the round 1, but showed up last night or this morning, and he was able to attend driver's meeting and practice. So this is actually his first go today in battle. Talking to him in practice, he did sound like he was a little uncomfortable with that zone in the first place. So I think this is just kind of one of those things, like he's still having the same trouble, but looks like he might have broke a control arm or a tie rod or something. He is going back to the pits.
Yeah, so we're waiting for a decision from all the judges, and Mr. O'Sullivan getting super excited, blocking the screen from us, so we really can't see what's going on. Sit down, bull. All right. We'll see if we get that graphic on the screen here. Mr. Wildberry Studios. Slide him left for Abbott, right for Boss, and of course it's unanimous. Abbott gets the win. He'll advance to the grade 8. Unfortunately, Boss kind of took himself out.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. You know, this is a pro spec driver that was wanting to come in and compete with these guys, and unfortunately wasn't able to make it yesterday. And then to come out and, you know, he wants to drive his hardest and be in the top, but unfortunately both runs were just not in his favor today. So he will have to sit the rest of the day out. But awesome seeing him out here. You know, he was out here 2023, 2022 in East 10, and he's got his pro spec license now. But they're giving Abbott the win now. Abbott's going to jump off the line. We're going to move on to our next battle, which looks like we only have one car there. Talking to Jake Little earlier, he suffered from some motor failure, so it will be Rodriguez basically going for his bye run since Jake is unable to make it.
Yeah, so don't let the livery fool you, right? It might look like Alan Boss. It could look like Casey Rodriguez. Either way, good dude. Pretty solid driver. He looked good during practice. He did pretty well yesterday. And so, you know, he's got some events at other series I think you were talking about earlier, for sure. And so this is his first season with us here at East 10. And, you know, of course the wind is being stubborn and knocking down clipping points. So we're going to have to take a moment for the course workers to fix the clipping points out at outer zone 2. Yeah, this wind is just not being friendly. So, yeah, let's see if we get those cones fixed out there.
While they're setting those cones up, taking a look forward here, this will be the last battle per se in our top 16. We'll move on to the grade 8. So far, we have Conklin battling Brutsky. That's going to be a crazy one.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. You know, basically 2 pro spec cars, right? Going at it. You know, Rhys is really gunning for that license this year. He's super motivated. He's super pumped. His family as well. I mean, they're super awesome, humble people, and really fun to be around. And then you've got, you know, on the other side of that, you've got Jacob Brutsky, and you know he's got Dad right there in the pits with him, right? Yeah. And Dad's like, nah, we're not doing the sim. You're doing real life driving. Yeah. And so, you know, but the kid could rip. I mean, he is a ripper for sure. And we're just, you know, happy to see him out here. I mean, Brutsky, you know, won his license with us back when it was Pro 2 back in 2018. Brutsky goes on to become Pro Spec Champion twice and then goes into Pro. And now I think he's doing both again. But no, I mean, we're excited to see the next generation, right? And, you know, that's awesome. I mean, that's like, to me, as an organization that's super successful, to see family, to see generations just kind of, you know, compete with us. So yeah, pretty cool to see.
Looks like they're going to send this bye run of Rodriguez here. He's been pretty consistent in practice. I'm assuming we're going to see the same run from him, even though it's a bye run.
Inner clip one there, touch and go. And then we're getting out to the outer zone 1, filling the zone properly, taking it all the way out to outer zone 2. Looks like he's filling the zone properly as well. We got to see a nice transition here into outer zone 3, finishing all the way through the finish line, making sure you don't spin out, anything like that. Nice solid bye run by Mr. Casey Rodriguez.
Yeah, as I said, he was consistent all through practice, and that was exactly the run I expected from him. He's hitting all the marks. Car looks fast. He looks dialed, very smooth, and I think that's definitely a trait to have if you want to win some battles throughout the day. So he will move on to our grade 8 against Nick Abbott. Next up is the battle we were talking about. We have Rhys Conklin in the burnout box, as well as Jacob Brutsky. 2 BMW chassis, 1 V8, 1 S54 BMW engine.
Man, you're better at that stuff than I am. I just, like, it's got a motor. I'm in. I'll drive it.
Makes good noises.
Yeah, it makes great noises. Goes really fast. Yeah, I'm probably the worst car enthusiast ever. I'm just like, looks cool, sounds great, goes fast. I'm in. But then again, I used to be a rotary guy, so what do I know? So here we go. Judges are ready to send. We're up here ready to send here at the tower. We're excited. Let's get it on. It's the grade 8 here. East 10 Drift, round 2. Formula Drift, Pro-Am competition. Going into interclip one. Pretty decent initiation there. Tapping into touch and go. Sending it into outer zone 1. Brutski just staying right there. Pretty consistent. He needs to get a little closer as they go into outer zone 2. Let's see the transition here. Nice and smooth. Mimicking that line. Taking it all the way out into outer zone 3. That was a clean, ideal run by both drivers. They're going to make it hard for us.
Yeah, there was I didn't spot any flubs there. We'll watch the replay back here, but I saw a clean lead from Rhys, but that also gives Brutski the opportunity for a clean chase. So through interclip 1, barely missing the touch and go into outer zone 1. Both drivers in the box. Brutski jumping back up on the door there. He knows he has to push into outer 3. Both drivers, 2 tires in the box. Rhys Conklin perfectly filling on the line. That's we're gonna flip it around here and see if we can reciprocate this run.
Are we gonna have to check under the helmet of Brutski's car?
Dimitri's in that
on?
thing, yeah. Well, I mean, what better mentor to have than a 2-time Pro 2 Pro Spec champion, you
right?
know?
Gosh, here we go, man. I'm excited. Here we go. Second half. Let's see what Brutski has as he takes initiation here properly into interclip 1. Oh, Rhys is on him. He's taking all the way out to the touch and go into outer zone 1. Rhys is knocking on his door, trying to match him pound for pound, angle for angle. Outer zone 2 coming out. Let's see that transition. Going through the smoke. Oh no! Rhys makes a small mistake. It could cost him the win. Wow!
That was still a good run. There was a couple mistakes made, but I think that was still a great run. It's going to be a hard one to judge here, but...
Oh, my heart's racing. I'm getting hyped. I'm hoping I'm doing my job right. If you're not jumping up at home, I'm going to quit my day job.
Yeah, so looking back at the replay here, looks like Rhys knows he has to push. Coming into outer 2, he's right on the door. Brutski transition into outer 3. It looked like maybe he had transitioned a little early, not feeling that zone, but Brutski right on the line. Could possibly have dropped 1 tire, it looked like, but I don't think he was 2 out.
I think we're going to have to see that replay one more time. Because this is going to be a super challenging call here. Rhys is on.
So we're seeing the first piece of the battle here. Watching it back, letting the judges check it out one more time. Rhys just filling the zones where he should, but Brutski also being exactly where he needs to be to just put the pressure on Rhys and hope to cause some mistakes there. And then, of course, when we flip it around, like I said, Rhys knew he had to be on Brutski's door in order to be in the picture.
So here's what's going to matter here. Does Brutski stay in the zones? Does he go outside the zones with his wheels, 1 wheel or 2 wheel here in outer zone 2? He's super close. He's in it for sure. And then let's see what he does here at outer zone 3. Looks like he's barely getting outside, maybe 1 tire. Wow.
Wow, crazy.
Fists pumping.
Yeah, people clapping. Louis over here getting hype. He's going to have to shed some layers. He's sweating.
Now I've got the pressure job, and I've got to make my decision. Golly.
Yeah, judges definitely have a hard decision to make here. You know, mistakes I feel like were made on that second run, unfortunately, for both drivers. But, I mean, if you weigh those mistakes out, is it enough to sway one way or the other, or are we going to have to see these guys go one more time? You know, that's up to the judge's decision here, but great drivers, both these guys, laying down some solid lead runs and, you know, kind of following that up with a nice chase, both drivers here.
Okay. I had to go through my notes and just kind of replay that in my head, and that's super challenging. And we have to be, you know, we want to be super nitpicky. We have to, like, just tear that run apart, you know, for both drivers. You know, Rhys was shy of the touch and go, you know, on his lead. And so here we go. What do we have? We got Jacob Brutski. Jacob Brutski gets the win, a unanimous decision. Jacob Brutski gets the win.
What a feeling. Wow. This 14-year-old beating or, you know, overcoming the winner of yesterday's competition.
Yeah, that's got to be a blow to the gut for sure for the Conklins. But you know what? That's part of it, right? You know, that one little mistake can cost you the win. You know, now he drops out of, you know, the Final Four, and now Brutski gets to advance to the Final Four. And I bet that kid is stoked, right? And he's just like, you know, feeling the vibes of that last run, and now he's got to get ready for the next one.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for the Conklins, but you know, I know they're good sportsmen. They'll handle it appropriately, and they'll be back at round 3, hungry for that win.
I can almost guarantee if you go down to the pit after this, Rhys is gonna have a smile on his face. He's always smiling, always having fun. So I think he's gonna take it well, and he's gonna come back fighting harder for round 3.
Yeah, worst case scenario, we'll make him smile with some tacos. I mean, that always makes people happy. All right, here we go.
Krudel and Smith.
We got Chris Krudel leading, Gerald Smith, Nader falling short, but Krudel has got to commit and go ahead and do a nice clean line. He's a little shy of outer zone 1. Nader Smith just having to shut it down. Krudel taking it into outer zone 3, putting down a decent line. He was a little squirrely there going into outer zone 1, but unfortunately for Gerald Naylor Smith, he had to shut it down. So again, he was having some mechanical issues. He's been battling those gremlins all weekend, and that is unfortunate for him. We'll see if he gets back to the line. I wouldn't be surprised if he calls it. But you know what? He seems like one of those people that he's going to give it all he's got with what he has.
Right. Yeah. You never want to give up per se, but he's been still trying to do it even through practice, even with the gremlins. He's trying to commit to making these runs, and hats off to him and his crew for trying to get this thing worked out. I think the issue there was third gear went out yesterday during practice. I think.
Out if so Gerald is taking a competition timeout. They're starting the clock right now. He's got 5 minutes to figure it out, and I think we're going to move on. So we'll go ahead and go to the next battle. So we're going to go ahead and see who we got. We got Andrew Shorkey and Matthew Glasscock about to scrub tires to get to the line.
Yeah, really unfortunate here, but hopefully the Naylor and his team can get the car sorted and come out and at least try and fight for that spot in the top 4.
Man, you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You think, hey, you kind of have an idea of who may do what, and then it just, throw those plans out the window.
Right.
Because just one little simple mistake can really shake things up. And, you really can't discount, the rest of your season based off of, the way the first round went or the way the second round went. You got to commit to it. And ideally, again, just, our curriculum here, you gotta learn how to process and deal with all the scenarios, all the variables that are presented to you, whether it be a technical issue or a driving technique issue or whatever. But it's a tough pill to swallow when you fall short of a win. So thankfully, again, we're always here for these drivers to lean on, like what happened, and we'll ask them what happened, what was going on, and who knows, it could have been like my clutch pedal slipped or something weird, right? So here we go. We got Shorkey leading, going into interclip 1, pretty tight, touch and go, passing that touch and go, going in, setting up for outer zone 1. Looks like he's fallen. He's in the zone, midway into the zone, going into outer zone 2. Looks like he's filling that zone correctly. Matthew Glasscock trying to catch up. Shorkey just like a rocket ship, filling the outer zone 3, and unfortunately, Glasscock just sails way out of the markings there for outer zone 3.
Yeah, we'll go look at this replay here and kind of see what it looks like from an overhead perspective. Matthew Glasscock in the chase here. Both drivers into that inner clip, a little space in between, a little shy of the touch and go there, but out into outer 1. Lead driver not into it until about 3/4 of the way through. Glasscock trying to maintain his proximity. Outer 2 looks really good, and then unfortunately with the over rotation it looked like there and kind of too much speed going into outer 3, Glasscock was not able to stay in the zone. I think that's probably going to hurt him in the decision making here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Glasscock. He's been a pretty solid driver. I've never met him. I've never seen him drive, unfortunately. But super cool guy. Nice car. Was shredding, man. Like, looks great in practice. Takes in all the data from us and applies it. So let's see what happens here between the lead run and swapping it out with Shorkey. So all right, Mo's sending it there. These guys are going to come down parallelly as fast as they can, try to build up that speed for a good initiation to set them up, coming out to the only here clicking point we have, to the touch and go there, falling a little shy there. Matthew not getting into the right setup for outer zone 1, but getting to it towards the end, going into outer zone 2. Here we go, let's see the transition here, right in the middle where it needs to be, filling the outer zone 3 properly. Shorkey, you really can't see him, that smoke, man, is thick, but I'm sure he was there right next to him. So we'll go to the replay here.
Yeah, so from the drone footage here, Matthew Glasscock really nailing that inner clip into the touch and go, but we'll see here, hitting the inner clip in a little shallow in the touch and go. What looked like a swift right to angle there, not hitting the first part of the outer 1 into outer 2 pretty decently. And then Shorkey trying to maintain a chase, but given a little room, he may know about the mistakes that was made behind him during his lead. But both drivers trying to battle their way to the top 4 here, and judges are going to make some decisions based on the 2 runs that they saw. Shorkey laying down a solid lead. There's some mistakes by Glasscock in both the lead and chase that could affect, but there were also some mistakes from Shorkey in his chase, so we'll see what the judges are going to decide here.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I mean, Glasscock, I mean, he was way out of that outer zone 3, so let's see, slide him left for Shorkey, right for Glasscock, and of course, unanimous. Shorkey gets the win. Shorkey gets the win. Shorkey gets the win. And so, yeah, to be expected, right? Another, again, small mistake. So, so we're getting our final 4 set up, right? So we're almost done with the grade 8. Next up we'll have Abbott leading Rodriguez, and this will be, I think, Rodriguez's first battle. His last one was a bye run. Oh, hold on, I misspoke. I think we're going back to the one more time.
Or the second run of the. Oh,
copy that. So, so Gerald Naylor Smith, his competition timeout expired. Is that correct? They called it. Oh, they called it. Okay, so they dropped out, unfortunately, for Gerald, and so Chris Krudel will take his bye run, and that's what we'll see here.
It's another solid driver that we've seen make some consistent lead runs. Little short on outer 1 there, but lots of tire smoke coming off the back of that car. Into outer 2, looks like he's filling that pretty well. Transition into outer 3, right in the box, putting it where he needs to be there. That car sounds amazing. I don't know if you guys can hear it in the microphone, but it reminds me of Donnie from the Wild Thornberries. I told him that earlier.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. So, once we finish the grade 8 here, we're going to do a small commercial break. We're going to restripe the lines for the final 4 and, get that reset so then that way we have some fresh lines down. We can see what's going on. And, for our series, round 1 and 2, we run the same layout, right? 2 days in a row. We like to see that progression. And then so when we come back towards the end of April, we'll have a different layout. I honestly, it's like if it ain't broke, why fix it type situation, right? So if you're interested in competing, you're able to actually look at some, data, go back to old videos and see what you can find of drivers that competed here with us in years past. And, again, if it ain't broke, why fix it type situation.
It's a fun layout, though. It's a great
It really
layout.
is. Like, I mean, from an aerial shot, it could be a little deceiving, man, because when you're behind the wheel of the car, you're going through the course. I mean, the asphalt, man, it has so many different variations of surface. I mean, camber, and you're loading up every corner of your car.
We have Abbott leading Rodriguez.
All right, we got Nicholas Abbott leading Rodriguez. Initiation into interclip 1, taking it all the way out to the touch and go properly. And we're going into, oh no, we've got contact, but Nicholas is able to manage and maintain drift. Wow. Super impressive by Nicholas Abbott. This dude's an animal. Going into outer zone 3. This is like, I'm not giving up. I'm going to go ahead and kill some tires.
Yeah, never give up. If you're able to jump back in and obviously not put yourself for that lead driver in jeopardy, jump back in for sure. But
yeah, I definitely would love to see the replay on that.
We'll watch the replay here. both cars at the inner clip, both hitting it, a little shy on the touch and go. Looked like Casey kind of straightens up here and nails the back of Abbott. Abbott putting it back together into that last part of outer 2. The question there was there kind of a decel from Abbott that caused that push from Rodriguez? Or was it just a mistake of overspeed and having to lock up the brakes from that from Rodriguez? But some contact right there. Looks like either he was already out or he kind of got pushed out from that contact. But they're gonna look at this replay. I'll let the judges kind of look and make their decisions here. This is when it gets interesting because we want to make sure we're fair to the drivers. We want to make sure that the crash was not caused by a decel or that the lead car wasn't already out before the contact, because obviously that will affect who's deemed at fault for the contact and how it's going to play into our second piece of the run here. Looking back at the replay and boom, contact. Judges are looking at this a couple of times here. As you can see, they want to make sure, like I said, they're making the right call, but there's just some uncertainty here on who would be at fault for the contact. But Abbott able to kind of come back to it, and Rodriguez as well. He said, I'm not done. Like Louis said, I want to fight for this and not leave it in the judges' hands. I want to make it official that I'm here to battle.
Yeah, so super tough. What looked like Abbott trying to correct his line, it definitely comes off throttle ever so slightly. But in a separate case scenario, Casey looked like he was just having issues, initiating drift into outer zone 1. Has to correct it, straightens out, and then just independently goes right into Abbott. So, that's going to be a tough call. We'll see what happens here with the second half of the battle. I think Mo had to rip Casey's bumper off. But yeah, judges here are about ready to send it, and so let's just see what happens.
Oh, okay. Give me green light. Judges are ready.
Man, excitement, pressure,
everybody wants that
stress,
top 4, man.
All of it, all the
top
feels,
4.
right?
Yeah.
Real time, real case scenarios here. Trying to bring them value no matter what, right? You may not walk away with the win, but we want you to walk away with some value. Going into intercom 1, going to that touch and go. I mean, Nicholas just wants to park it with all that angle, but Casey putting down a really solid lead line, and it could be a really challenging call here. But if Casey can manage a nice clean line, yeah, this is going to be super tough. I mean, he filled that zone properly. And that was a super clean line. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Let's look at the replay.
Yeah, I think both drivers there did exactly what we thought and laid down some clean runs in that inner clip. Both drivers in it, not touching the touch and go, but floating back out to the outer 1. Looks like both of them may have dropped a tire or 2 into outer 2, both in the zone there. Abbott sticking right to the door of Rodriguez into outer 3, both in the zone, perfectly filling it. Man, this is going to be a close one for sure. And I'll go back to what the judges said earlier, and that's there's some points here for making sure that they're running consistent lines through inner clip 1, touch and go, and outer 1. You see a lot of drivers coming short on touch and go, and that's because they feel like they have that fluid line, and if they try and reach out for that touch and go, it might hurt them going into outer 1. And the judges are they're accepting that. Obviously, there's going to be deductions for not completely filling the zones, but if there's one place of sacrifice, the judges did let the drivers know, make that your point of sacrifice, hit that inner clip, and maintain speed to that outer 1. And I think he did just that.
Yeah, I mean this could come down to like who had the better chase run.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think they both had their mistakes on their lead run, fairly equal. And at the end of the day, with Casey, unfortunately, he had a major mistake on his chase run, straightened out for whatever reason. But it's going to be a super technical thing. So I'm going to go here and look at this replay one more time.
All right. Looking back here at the first run, judges are wanting to make sure they're diagnosing this in the proper way. Looking back at both runs, kind of counting up mistakes or places where there could have been some improvements that could weigh their judgment call. And here you see the second piece of this battle. Nick Abbott knows he has to push, and he's doing just that. And I can tell you from experience following cars pushing out all this GT radial smoke, like when you go through those transitions, you can tell that Nick Abbott is committed because you cannot see through those transitions. And the fact that he's able to stay with Rodriguez's bumper through those transitions is that's definitely a show of commitment there from him. Looks like the judges are getting some decisions locked in, making some notes on why they chose these decisions.
We're putting our votes in. It could be an interesting decision here. We don't know it until we see the results on the screen, so we're just kind of like staring at each other and like wondering what the outcome's going to be, and then we'll deliberate and ask each other why, type of situation, and why we voted one way versus the other. And Connor O'Sullivan over here just really just studying these replays, and again just looking for all as much data as possible, right? What's going to help sway the decision. I mean, for me, it's like you've got both of them, with a tire or two outside of the line, right? Which technically could be a zero. At the end of the day, we want these drivers to really, push and find a line and be aggressive. What if there was a wall there, right? I mean,
right.
that'd be a pretty upsetting crash. And so we have to take all that information into accountability and just really just push ourselves to make the right decision. And being that there's no protest, right? So there's no protest. So here we go. Slide him left for Abbott, right for Rodriguez, and it's a one more time. So yeah.
So maybe since this is kind of our last battle, we can have the judges the judge that chose Abbott. Maybe we can see why that decision was.
So this is going to be a one more time. They're going to have a minute to scrub, so we'll probably go to a quick commercial break after this information here. But yeah, we'll get them some new tires. We'll see it one more time. So, it was a one more time. For the other two judges and for me, I was really basing it off of the chase run, right? Who had the better chase run? One of the things they talk about in Formula Drift is like, having to eliminate the one more times. Granted, we have a lot of time, here, which we typically don't. We still have to kind of maintain that thought process and really, go into nitpicking, these runs and really trying to push forward into the rest of the bracket, right? And so for me, that's how I based my decision. I looked at, who had the more aggressive run. If the lead driver is going out of their zone and it's not ridiculous, it's the chase driver's job to stay on his door, to mimic that line, to mimic that angle and be super aggressive. And that's what I saw out of Nicholas. And so that's why I voted the way I did. But again, these guys want to see a one more time battle. I mean, I'm not mad at that, and that's just the way it kind of went, right? So, it's the beauty about our sport. It's subjective, right? This is why I think the call should have went the way it did. So, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break, so these guys could get their tires changed, and then after this battle, we'll go to one more commercial break so we could get the stripes re-chalked, so we have fresh stripes for the final four. So yeah, stay tuned. for more.
Streets of Long Beach, surrounded by skyscrapers in the Pacific Ocean.
Official, we've begun Formula Drift round 1. Let's send it!
Drivers pushing over 1,000 horsepower.
Put up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off.
Get your tickets now.
Big things are coming to East10 Drift. We're excited to announce Friday night drifts at Newport Speedway, kicking off May 16th. For years, the East10 Drift team has wanted a home track, a reliable venue where drivers and fans can come together every weekend. Now, that dream is a reality, thanks to Newport Speedway and the amazing family behind it. But that's not all. We're introducing the Battle Night Power Hour. During each Friday night drift event, drivers will go head-to-head in tandem drift battles for a full hour, and the crowd decides the winner. It all starts May 16th, and you won't want to miss it. Stay updated at East10Drift.com. We'll see you at the track.
Make some noise for the Drift Nation. Oh, wow! Oh my God!
Make a lasting impression with AZ Rag's custom and commercial vinyl wraps. As a 3M certified graphics installation company, we deliver top quality wraps designed for durability, precision, and eye-catching appeal. Whether you're branding a fleet or giving your vehicle a fresh new look, trust our expert team to bring your vision to life. Stand out on the road. Contact AZ Rag today.
I was broke, pocket full of that. Now I'm on the bricks, getting paid like no other dog. Now I'm stacking chips.
Streets of Long Beach, surrounded by skyscrapers in the Pacific Ocean.
Official, we've begun Moto Drift round 1. Let's send it!
Drivers pushing over 1,000 horsepower.
Put up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off.
Get your tickets now. Streets of Long Beach, surrounded by skyscrapers in the Pacific Ocean.
Official, we've begun Moto Drift round 1. Let's send it!
Drivers pushing over 1,000 horsepower.
Doing pretty well. Looked like Casey hesitated just a little bit coming out of outer zone 2, but we'll see in the replay here what that looks like.
Yeah, again, another good run from both these drivers, putting their marks where it needed to be. Looked like Nick had a solid piece of the first part of the run. Maybe came out of angle a little bit to get into outer 2, which caused him to angle up a little bit, but Rodriguez half a car to a car apart the entire time. So we'll flip them around and see what we can do.
So again, like just looking at that run, unfortunately the wind caught our drone on that one, but Nicholas entering just a little bit shallow into outer zone 2. Casey just kind of, he's got a good car length away in that run from Nicholas in tandem, but matching his line, matching his mimicking his angle. And so, we're going to see what Casey does here. At least it was a clean run by both drivers. Nothing happened, no weird, snapback or anything like that or straightening out. So we've got both at the line. I think the judges are ready. And, yeah, we're going to see if Mo can send it.
Heard the dog box, so they're about to take off.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. All right. So we got Casey, proper initiation there into inner clip 1, shy of the clip there, going deep into the touch and go, going deep into outer zone 1. Nicholas just putting on the pressure. Look at that, wow! About a foot apart, wheel to wheel, mano y mano. Whoa, doctor! Can I take that line? Wow, that was a good chase run. Solid line by Casey. Super exciting driving. Unfortunately, way far away from the inner clip there, which put him super deep into the touch and go.
Yeah, for sure. Let's look back at this replay here. They transition, like Louis said, far off of the inner clip and a little outside of the touch and go, but Abbott just sucking right back up to the door of Rodriguez, a little over the line there in outer 1, but Abbott right on his door into outer 2. Great.
Yeah, that's that was exciting, right? That's what we want to see out of every battle. And definitely helps when it comes to judging, right? Like, it makes it a little bit easier for us to make our decisions. So, judges are deciding right now, and trying to get that vote in. But yeah, wow. And so after this, we're going to go into a break. We'll get these lines restriped, and that way we have a nice clean view for the top 4. We want to thank Race Treads again for helping support us in the in the live stream, right? So live stream powered by Race Treads. It's pretty neat, right? We got some really cool graphics. We're waiting for the decision here. Yep, and that's right. Unanimous. Abbott gets the win.
Looks like Abbott gets the win.
So we're gonna go ahead and take a break now to restripe. Taking a break now to restripe. We're going course cold here at Bristol Motor Speedway. They got street fights going on. Did you know that?
Yeah, I got some drag racing across
Yeah.
the road here. Tons of cars up on the
Yeah.
hill, and people kind of flowing over, watching
Yeah.
what in the world we're doing with these
what
cars.
Is this stuff? Why are you guys putting out tire smoke and going sideways, right? And so it's a run what you brung type event. You know, it usually brings 2,000 to 3,000 people for their season opener, and it's just like an open to the public thing. Super cool, event. Great people here at Bristol Motor Speedway and Bristol Thunder Valley. It's our home away from home here in East Tennessee, but it is one of our our staple venues here, and we love the team here. We want to drift here forever. We want to leave our mark. Obviously, we do with all the tire marks there. But to take a second too to thank our sponsors, AZ Rag, of course, Race Treads, GT Radial USA, Grip Royal, Koru Works, Excess Power, Link ECU, and of course Drift HQ, and Formula Drift for having the confidence in us to know that we can manage a safe, successful program. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty, right? I want to see our drivers podium at pro spec events. I want to see them go into pro and podium. That makes me a proud dad, I guess you could say, a proud papa for sure. And it's bragging rights, right? I have a competitive edge, to my personality, and it makes me proud to see that, and it pushes me harder to make sure that we're bringing substance to the program. We're really educating these guys so they're well-rounded and properly prepared to get into that next level of competition.
Right, yeah, tons of solid drivers coming from East10 ProAm into the pro ranks, and we're just gonna keep looking to send them in there and let them get their chance to fight with the pros.
Yes, sir. So here we are. The crew is out there. Shout out to the East10 Drift crew. These guys help make my job easier. I mean, they are on point. I will say this, and it's a really bold statement, one of the best Pro-Am crews in the nation. Top notch for sure. They treat this like a full-time job. We're not here to mess around. We're here to give you a product. You pay for your registration with us, and you're getting a solid product. And so I'll use that for a campaign. Come on in at the end of April, April 25th through the 27th, rounds 3 and 4. If you want to compete with us, hey, I'm going to open it up. We want to see a 32 bracket. We want to see a 32 bracket, and I'm going to tell these drivers to share it with their friends. We want to make it fun. We want to make it interesting, and we want to give people a taste of the experience here with us at East10 Drift.
Yeah, especially, even if you don't necessarily want your pro license, but you want to come out and compete, it's still fun to come out with these guys and bang doors. And, it's to me, I have that competitive edge too. And it's fun to go out and drive with your friends, but it's also fun to drive competitively and see what you got.
Exactly. I mean, pardon my French. You had, our judge, Connor O'Sullivan, he released his new livery today. He's his new sponsor, the U.S. Army, right? He needed to test his setup.
Yeah.
So, he was out here to practice with the guys. And, I mean, from saying, hey, I'm just going to do single runs to, all of a sudden he's banging doors with some of these guys. I'm like, wow, okay. So you did what you said you weren't going to do. But anyway, he had fun. He looked awesome out there. Car looks great. Car feels great. Follow O'Sully on Instagram. You'll check out his newly released livery, sponsored by the U.S. Army, and of course AZ Rag here in Knoxville, Tennessee. But one of the drivers that came out of our series again, and it's awesome. Not to keep talking about Brewski, but to have him out here too with his son. Two-time prospect champion, pro driver. We want to see that, right? We want to see these drivers come out and perform and build a career out of this sport.
Yeah, it's definitely cool seeing these guys come back. Obviously O'Sully coming back as a judge, but Brewski bringing his son into the program. And he's a great guy, and he's
so there it is, perfect. The mad scientist there behind the screen. So 2024, Colin Zielinski. So he's going into prospect this year for his first season with Formula Drift. Jerry Johnson, this dude is a wild man. I mean, came out of Utah. I almost thought he was going to take the license, but he had a couple of hiccups. But the freaking NASCAR motor in that it was a FRS body or whatever. I mean, dude, that thing is super wild. And Rhys, Conklin taking third in the series last year, that was super impressive. And coming back stronger this year, good for him. 2023, Adam Heichman going into prospect. Alan Boss, picking up a scout position. Same with Joseph Love, and Alan Boss going on to, I think it was Lake Erie, and getting his license, right? And by the way, Jerry Johnson went all the way out to Seattle to get his license. So you'll see Jerry Johnson in prospect this year. Take it back to 2022 when we had 3 licenses to give, and they've trimmed that down for all Pro-Am series now. But first place was Trevor Root. Second place was Cole Richards. Cole Richards taken Rookie of the Year back in I think it was 2023. And then of course Connor O'Sullivan, getting that license back in 2022, taking third in Pro Spec this past season, and now going into Pro for the 2025 Formula Drift season. So and then there we go all the way back to 2019, right? Steve Misko, Nick Novak, Matt Mogensen. 2018, our inaugural year, Tyler Garlax, Dimitri Bruschi, Stephen White. Dimitri Bruschi, again, one of our first license winners, came in second and just went out to dominate.
Yeah.
So, the proof is in the pudding, right? We want to give you the education you need to get yourself to that position to cross over into Pro Spec.
Yeah, obviously translates. I mean, you can see most of these drivers, if you tune in to any Pro Spec event, even now, or even Pro, you will probably see 80% of these drivers still on the Pro grid. And it's cool to be able to tell, folks that these guys came from East10. We got to drive with these guys. We got to see these guys grow and be the drivers that they are now.
Right. So super pumped, super excited. We're going to probably go to a quick little commercial break. These guys are almost done striping. We're going to kind of dial in our timing and just stay tagged here to the YouTube channel. We'll put up a little blurb about how long it'll be until we're back. There'll be a little time, hopefully a little timer there for you. Comment. We've got the thread going. We got the thread going on YouTube here. Comment, like, subscribe, yada yada yada. I'm not a big social media guy.
Yeah.
I hate being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But here I am.
You're pretty
right?
good, man. You're being pretty good.
I don't know. Like it just happens. Like when you get put into certain positions, you're like, oh, okay, the pressure hits. You just gotta.
Yeah.
You gotta go. Full throttle, right? Full send. Here we are. Full send. So we'll be back. Stay tuned. Looking at the monitor. Looking at you. Hi everybody. Louis here. Louis Garza, East10 Drift. Tyler Berry, East10 Drift driver. ProAm driver, right? ProAm driver. Hey, guess what? We've got another home track that we announced earlier this year, Newport Speedway. We're bringing out Friday Night Drift every Friday night or every other Friday night starting in May 16th. So, go to our website, East10Drift, East10Drift.com. It needs some updating, but bear with us, we'll get there. We're getting a ton of support now, so we're going to revitalize all that sort of stuff. So go check that out, like and subscribe. We'll see you guys here in a little bit. Give us about 3 or 5 minutes. The stripes is almost done. We'll get back to it. We'll see you then.
Streets of Long Beach, surrounded by skyscrapers in the Pacific Ocean.
Official, we've begun Formula Drift round 1. Let's send it!
Drivers pushing over 1,000 horsepower.
Put up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off.
Get your tickets now.
Miss it. Stay updated at East10Drift.com. We'll see you at the track.
Make some noise for the Drift Nation. Oh, wow! Oh my God!
Make a lasting impression with AZRag's custom and commercial vinyl wraps. As a 3M certified graphics installation company, we deliver top quality wraps designed for durability, precision, and eye-catching appeal. Whether you're branding a fleet or giving your vehicle a fresh new look, trust our expert team to bring your vision to life. Stand out on the road. Contact AZRag today.
I was broke, pocket full of lit. Now I'm on the bricks, getting paid like no other dog. Now I'm stacking chips.
Streets of Long Beach, surrounded by skyscrapers in the Pacific Ocean.
We've begun Formula Drift round 1. Let's send it!
Drivers pushing over 1,000 horsepower.
Put up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off.
Get your tickets now.
Hey, Chris filling that last outer zone. That was a good run, right?
So we'll go over and check out the replay here. Looked like a pretty solid run from both these drivers with a couple of mistakes here. Going in down the power alley, initiating Krutol up front, hitting that inner clip. Brutski sacrificing some angle to catch back up to Krutol. Outer one looking really good there. I keep saying Dimitri. Jacob sucking back up on the door of Krutol there into outer three. Both drivers a little shy of filling it completely. But we're going to watch this one more time before we let them go back on our second piece of this battle. Again.
Yeah, so Chris, falling short on a touch and go, sacrificing that proximity or that, proximity there into that zone just to get to outer zone 1. Going light into outer zone 2, but filling the zone pretty well. And then, of course, getting into outer zone 3. So, Brutski's doing really well, doing what he needs to do to keep that proximity, keep on Chris's door there. So we're going to see, these guys reversed on the line. And I think the judges are about ready to go. Still watching some replay there. So, yeah, we're taking notes. We're trying to, again, capture all the data there. So, some would call it telemetry. I don't know if we're that
telemetry.
So here we are, again, just trying to give these guys what they need to perform. So, judges are almost ready, and here we go. We've got Brutski leading, taking the proper position initiation into the inner clip 1, getting super close, getting it all the way out to the touch and go, getting properly into outer zone 1 with Chris just, keeping him close, not letting him get away. Ooh, Brutski going way out of outer zone 2. That might cost him, but Chris not letting that upset him, right? So he's staying on his door. Brutski filling out outer zone 2. I mean, we're definitely going to have to capture that replay, right?
Right, yeah, I think looked like Chris knew he had to push there. Coming in to inner clip 1, Brutski right on it, sacrificing again a little bit from the touch and go, but Chris right on his back bumper from Dimitri into outer 1. Dimitri. Brutski filling it completely and goes maybe 2 tires off in outer 2, but Krutol is right on his bumper, trying to make sure he does not give that call up. He wants to push as hard as he can. Looking at this a little bit further, the judges are going to have to dissect it. What they're checking for here, it looks like, is if it was actually 2 tires off from Brutski, which in most cases actually would lead to an incomplete or a 0 from the lead driver or the chase driver, depending on who it was.
I've got a question which I couldn't really see.
Judges trying to make a call here, taking down some notes and making sure they're making the right call.
Yeah, super challenging. There's definitely, we're docking both drivers for both runs. Just trying to make the right call. In my opinion, obviously, with Brutski going way out into outer zone 3, I think that puts him in a bigger deficit. Chris Krutol, coming out on the chase run, from the initiation point, super faint angle, but he was in angle and then catches up to Brewski and pretty much maintains proximity and mimicking, Jacob's line. And so, I think, for me, as a judge, well, I guess you'll see my decision here shortly, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it was definitely one that was a little tough to dissect, but there were some mistakes made from both drivers for sure. We'll just have to see. Sometimes it comes down to who made the most.
And here we go. Slide him left for Chris, slide him right, and it looks unanimous. Chris Krudel gets the win. Chris Krudel gets the win. He advances. Jacob falls short. And so Chris Krudel gets the win. Chris Krudel. So he'll go to the top two. And so looking at the bracket, let's see if I can get to that bracket. So next battle, of course, but just kind of looking for, what's the third place position, right? Because we're not doing a battle for third. We're going, just by, seeding bracket, right? So, the higher, quote unquote qualifier, will take third. So there won't be a battle for third.
It's one of these two drivers. Yeah.
It'll be one of these two drivers, basically. Yeah. So, we're going to see Andrew Shorkey taking the lead on Nicholas Abbott for the first half of the battle. But they're scrubbing tires right now out in the East 10 Drift burnout box. Our banner kind of flipped that fence over, right?
Yeah.
Mother Nature today.
Yeah.
She's this windy. Weekend for that matter. But it is warmer, so I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Now these guys were in this exact position yesterday. They met in the Final Four, and they were both guaranteed podiums. So we're seeing it again and again.
Well, and that's a result, right, of a 2 in a row round weekend. At the end of the day, I still wouldn't assume that this would be the situation all the time. I mean, obviously Rhys isn't up in the Final Four, right? And so, we're ready for it. So this is going to be a battle to advance for the final, for the first place position here. So,
yeah, the winner of this battle will join Krudel in the finals. The one that does not move on is still guaranteed that third spot due to their seeding position or finish from yesterday's battles.
All right, and judges are ready. Judges are ready to see this battle go. All right, here we go. We got Shorkey coming down Power Alley here, getting to that initiation. Taking it out. Pretty little shy on the inner clip there, but still managed to cross one of those lines. Ooh, super shy into outer zone one, and then Abbott is just hey man, I'm right here, and he's just making that front end bounce, getting on and off that throttle. Nice transition there. Shorkey's gonna have some ground to make up. I think he's definitely gonna have a deficit for sure going into the second half of the battle. But again, let's see where the cards fall, right? If that's a saying. Again, I'm bad at metaphors.
But watch this replay.
I'm just excited, right? Let's go check out the replay here.
Yeah, so both drivers a little shy on the touch and go there, but looked like there might have been a little bit of a wobble there from Shorkey, causing Abbott to be a little offline going into outer one. Shorkey coming up a little shy, but Abbott in it, almost hitting the back of Shorkey. Into outer two, Shorkey's right on the line there. Abbott not giving up, trying to stick it to the door again. Great outer three from Shorkey. Abbott still trying to see through that smoke and gain even more proximity. May have dropped one tire there.
Yeah, you know what? These guys are again, they're going all out. They're really gunning for it, and that's what it's about, right? We want to get excited. If they see us jumping up and down and cheering, they know they're doing it right. So here we go, switching it up. Nicholas Abbott leading Andrew Shorkey. Nice initiation shy of the inner clip, but still managing to get to that touch and go and into the outer zone one properly, filling that area there and going into outer zone two properly. Andrew's not letting him go though. He's like, I gotta make up some ground. Oh no! And he just overcorrects, and Nicholas just filling that zone properly, and I think Andrew just threw in the towel. Unfortunately, there could be a technical problem. There could be just a mishap. He might have got into his own head. We'll talk to him after the event, see what really happened there. A bit disappointed, but on the flip side to that, I'm sure Nicholas's team is cheering, right?
Right, for sure. Yeah, there was I don't know if it was like you said, if it was giving up per se, or if it was just a transition at the wrong time, kind of like what we saw with Rhys Conklin earlier. But I think Nick Abbott knew exactly what he had to do here, and that's lay down a clean lead run. Some mistakes made there by both drivers, of course, but Nick trying to capitalize on this and see if he can move forward, or if there were enough mistakes from his lead and chase for Shorkey to move forward. Judges are going to lock in a decision here.
Yeah, man. You don't, it's either way. It was an exciting run. Nicholas is a beast, and I know Andrew is too. He had a hiccup. You kind of take on the emotions of these guys. You kind of you feel like you're a little bit in their head, and you know that you're going to know the reaction. So here we are on the screen. Left for Shorkey, right for Nicholas Abbott, and of course I think we all knew, unanimous decision. Nicholas Abbott will advance to the battle for first, right? And so, I think that puts Shorkey in third. Mm-hmm. And so, hey, a podium's a podium, right? It ain't first, but if you were talking to old Ricky Bobby, he'd say if you ain't first, you're last.
Right. But it all plays a part in the final point standings. He's still in the top 3 in points, maybe even move up since Rhys has kind of fallen back now. And
yeah, exactly. So you really take it for what it is, right? And you kind of just move forward. So yeah, super stoked. I'm sure they are. And again, at the end of the day, it's a podium for Andrew Shorkey. So we're gonna let these guys get their tires changed, right? Because I think so we've got Abbott going up against
Mr. Krudel.
Mr. Krudel, and I'll be honest, he's Krudel has drifted with us for about 3 seasons or 4 seasons now, and I don't think I've ever seen him get to the top 2.
Yeah, I mean it's just we talked about it a little
not
bit
with
yesterday,
us anyway, right?
Yeah, well, he's unfortunately suffered some car troubles at multiple rounds throughout the years, but today we're really getting to see him shine, throw in those consistent laps, and you can tell he's really hungry to get through this series and come out with that license.
Yeah, I mean he how much driving he gets, he's got quite a bit of experience. And I think for him, something finally, just kind of clicked and said, hey, how long have I been doing this? I need to, I need to make some progress, right? And ideally get himself out of those situations that could accidentally impede on his progression, right? So again,
right.
Not to, beat a dead horse, but last year, getting hit, taken out of practice. I mean, he was off the whole season, and that was round 1.
Yeah.
So here we are. I mean, this guy's super humble, super nice, very modest, and anybody could win, right? Anybody could win. I'm excited to see what's going to happen here between, Abbott and Krudel, for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure Abbott having to sit last year out. He did sign up last year for East10 Drift ProAm, but unfortunately couldn't get his car put completely together in time to make it out, so he missed the entire season. Coming back this year, I talked to him in the pits. He's definitely happy to be here, but he's also happy to be making an impact here.
Right.
Top, podium finishes 2 days in a row.
Yeah. That's impressive. So, either way, one of these, both these guys are going to be on the podium. It's just going to be a matter of who's on first, right?
Right.
Who's going to take the top spot here at round 2 of our Formula Drift Pro-Am competition? It's an amazing place. We're starting to see some cloud coverage here, and everybody's kind of like winding down. The teams that have got knocked out are just kind of relaxing. And after this, if we've got some time, we're probably going to do some fun runs to the locals who, wanted to come out and do some fun runs. I apologize, but we will do something for our second half, which will be at the end of April, the weekend of April 25th. And, we're going to have some fun. It could be a 3-day thing. Who knows? Yeah. It'd be super exhausting because these things are from not just driving and prepping and all that sort of stuff, but then the aftermath, right? Hanging out in the pits, cooking food, packing up, all that stuff, right? Battling the elements, and hopefully we get, decent weather like we had this weekend. That always helps. But, regardless, whatever the conditions are, either way, we're going to utilize it and really emphasize, those conditions and allow these drivers to get appropriate experience. Again, no matter what the surface is doing, right? But next go around, yeah, we're going opposite direction. So we're kind of in a counterclockwise, position right now with the course layout. So next go around, we'll have a clockwise course layout. Not this layout per se. It's a different layout completely. Some would say it's almost like a mini version of Seattle, if you will. And that's what I kind of did, when I originally came out with these layouts. This layout here today is a bit of a nod to an old Texas layout.
Yeah.
And I don't know I think we called it Little Tex back in the day.
Yeah, Little
it's all coming back
Little
now.
Tex.
It's all coming back to me. And so yeah, we had tons of fun with that back in the day, and it was super fun. And I mean, here we've run hot lap courses before, and so we utilize the whole surface. And I mean, these guys are just having a blast all day long, just shredding tires. So. But again, if you're just joining us, we are almost done with our second round of our series. We are looking at the battle for first here with Nicholas Abbott and Rhys Conklin. And yeah, we're having fun. Are you having fun?
Oh yeah, I'm having fun. It was honestly intense when we woke up this morning because we knew what we were getting into, what we were going to see today. Now, obviously, we're seeing different people in the Final Four, but 3 of them are the same ones that we saw yesterday, but we know that they're here to bring the heat.
Right.
They fought their way through the bracket, and it's not going to stop here in the finals. We could see door-to-door action the entire battle this time. We've got 2 competitive and eager drivers. So.
Yeah. So bear with me one second as I talk to my staff here, but I'll let you take it away here for a second, Tyler. Who are these people? They need to get off.
Yeah. So drivers are starting to get the tires are put on their vehicles, are rolling up to the burnout box, waiting for the clear to start scrubbing tires, getting ready for the final battle. You guys can see on the screen there we've got some wanderers jumping onto the track. Not sure where these cars came from, but they might have taken the wrong turn, ended up on a racetrack. That's intimidating, especially if there would have been a car coming at you at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this venue has so many outlets, and I mean, we control them to the best of our ability. Ultimately, we have our medical team out in that corner over there. And it typically happens when the course is quiet because they don't know better. One of the things about Bristol Motor Speedway is it's an attraction. It's a park.
Yeah.
So when there's nothing going on here, the track loves to see people just come and explore or walk or exercise and all that sort of stuff. And so it's a little bit of a risk that is involved with this venue. But at the end of the day, we have major access points that are blocked and closed, and again, it happens when you have a quiet course. And so I think so. Here we go. We've got Abbott and Conklin breaking tires here. They're scrubbing tires, and so this is it.
This is it. This is for all the marbles.
For all the marbles.
All the marbles.
All the marbles. And so let's see here.
These drivers are definitely feeling some pressure right now, especially when you get into the burnout boxes. You know that's your final task to do before you line up on the line for your battle. Once you line up, it's at that point you're just waiting on the start line to drop their hands and take off. So drivers are looking like they're pulling up to the line here. We got some people moving around on track, getting in position. On your screen
Bristol, baby. It's Bristol, baby. I'm here to run what I brung.
On your screen there, we've got guys in the 20s right now battling for finals. We got a 24-year-old of Nick Abbott and a 29-year-old of Rhys Conklin, not even from the state.
Rocket. Go back, buddy.
Both in Nissan chassis. One's S13, one's S14 or S15. But both drivers eager here to get the win. Solid lead run. Go back and look at the replay here into the initiation. Both drivers getting a little outside that inner clip and not into the touch and go. Conklin into the outer zone one late, but Abbott right on his door, going into outer 3. We got Krudel touching the line and then into the zone late again, but Abbott right there, not leaving any room.
Yeah, and I think we need to look at both runs, equally one more time and just kind of just really analyze this.
Yeah,
So Krudel definitely touched the first line of inner clip 1. He's about midway into outer zone 2, light onto outer zone, 2, but makes it in midway and then in outer zone 3, pretty deep towards the end for sure. So we'll go back here to where Abbott leads, and so I think here Abbott misses. No, he's in deeper into the inner clip there, but way too deep and outside of outer zone 1, going into outer zone 2. Right where he needs to be there. Nice transition equally in between the two zones. Looks super close, but just one tire off on outer zone 3, so super deep in outer zone 3. I'd say, his worst spot on the track was, outer zone 1. He just, he gave it the beans, right? You like saying that he gave it the beans a little too much and overcooked it into outer zone 1 and corrected, but, did that upset Krudel? And honestly, I'd like to just see that one more time if they back it up into this replay here. And so let's just see how he overcooks and what happens to Krudel behind. So he just had a really bad mistake there on his own independently, in my opinion, on his chase run. So I think that helps my decision. So, where do we go from here, right? I think I have a decision, and this is a decision I do have to discuss with the judges versus putting it out on the screen. So I'm going to leave it to you for a second.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think looking back on that myself, not a judge, but I saw some mistakes there from both drivers on the first run, maybe even significant enough to zero both drivers. I don't know if the judges are doing zeros for straightening as a chase driver, but there was that bit of straightening from Krudel in the chase on that first run, and then obviously you have possible, most likely 2 tires off from Abbott in outer 1. So is that enough to completely get rid of run 1 and kind of go based off of run 2? In that case, they need to see, who was most dominant, the leader or the chaser. Obviously, if they can't come to a decision, we're going to see this one more time. But if they do come to a decision, we're going to be able to bring them down to the lower part of the track and celebrate with them, determine who's the winner. We have our third place driver already locked in, and that is Andrew Shorkey from Canada. He is locked in at number 3 right now, so he's definitely taking home a trophy, and also helping him advance in the points here. And I'm getting word from the judges that they are going to do this one more time. I'm looking at Tony here. Maybe Tony can come talk to me a little bit and kind of tell me what you guys discussed and how you ended up at a one more time, because it sounds like you guys were all on the same page. So
yeah, I believe at least 2 of us said one more time. I don't remember what Louis called exactly, but yeah, like neither driver had a complete set of clean runs. I called Abbott 2 off in outer zone 1, and at the same time on that chase for Chris, he was super shallow and offline. If it were a lead run, it would have been an unchaseable lead. And then in the second half of the battle, we definitely had a great chase and a clean lead. One driver won the lead, one driver won the chase, but none of it was pretty, so they're going to go one more time.
Yep, well, obviously we want to see it. We want to make sure that it's fair, so we're going to give these guys a chance to give us a clean example of a lead and a chase so that it's easier for you guys to make that call.
Yeah, we want to see an exciting battle, give them a chance to clean it up, and have a good, strong finish.
All right, thanks, Tony. Lou!
So it's a one more time. It's a one more time, right? I was leaning more towards Abbott. Again, it's just coming down to, the chase for me. And I don't think, in my opinion, again, I don't think it was the fault of Nicholas in regards to what happened with Chris's line going into outer zone 1. But I got beat, right? So 2-1. That's what it's about. And so, hey, we're gonna see it one more time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Just a little bit more drifting for you all who are watching at home or wherever you're at work. Maybe you probably shouldn't be watching stuff at work, right? You're supposed to be working.
Yeah.
But anyway, So, keep track of our Instagram, go to our Facebook page, and check out, our updates, right? So we'll post about, the next round, when registration opens for it. So if you are interested in competing, go to Formula Drift's website. I think it's, FD or FormulaD.com, and scroll down to the bottom, look up the rule book, hit the rule book link, and you'll find the Pro-Am regulations there. If you have a car that's maybe ready to go, or maybe it's almost ready, go there, see what you could do, if you can even put it together in a month. Or maybe you just have a car ready to go and you're like itching to compete. Hey, come on out. We're going to have live stream again for rounds 3 and 4. We're going to put on a show. We want to make sure, you're getting value for your money. We're going to make sure you have fun and you're going to learn, right? So it's educational, it's fun, and it's safe, and it's family friendly. You can't beat that.
Yeah, kids may not understand what's going on, but to see an exciting, loud car going sideways and looks like it's out of control, but they make it through the course, that's cool.
For sure, yeah. For sure. So go check that out. Rounds 3 and 4 back here at Bristol, Tennessee. We're pretty centralized in the region. Andrew Shorkey came down from Ontario, or Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Toronto. Yeah, I think he had a 10-hour drive, which blows my mind. Like 10 hours from Bristol, Tennessee, that's nuts. You're in Canada. We've had folks come from Baltimore, Maryland, the East Coast, basically. We've got folks coming from Nashville. We've had folks come from Utah. So, don't discount us just because of our distance. We want you to come and experience driving and competing with us here at East 10 Drift. So, thank you for watching. If you're watching, we hope you liked it. We're excited to get this battle going. The guys are scrubbing tires. Man, what a day.
Yeah.
What a day.
They're ready to go, though. They said, you know what, I'm not waiting. Change my tires and let me go back out.
Yeah. They might want fun runs.
Yeah, they might.
Yeah, we got a couple more hours to go. I might get out there. I don't know. All right, here we go. Battle for first.
Battle for first. One more time.
East 10 Drift, Formula Drift, Pro-Am competition, round 2, here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's street fights. Let's go. All right. Nick just throwing it out there. Making that transition into interclip 1. The touch and go. Nice smooth line. What a difference a one more time makes, that's for sure. Super comfortable now on this one. This is a night and day battle between the two. Here we go, filling the zones properly. Going into outer zone 3 like he should. Chris is not letting go. He's like, I'm right here, baby. I want first place.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he definitely put the pressure on Nick Abbott there. Both drivers looked like they were definitely trying to clean it up for that run to make the judges make it a little easier to make a decision to take home that hardware. In the transition here, Abbott barely touching that inner clip there, both shy from the touch and go into outer 1. Abbott and Krudel both in it. Krudel trying to surge back on the door of Abbott. Abbott in outer 2 perfectly. Krudel losing a little bit of distance there, but able to maintain. Into outer 3, it looked like there was a bit of a one tire, maybe possibly 2 from Abbott there, but Krudel putting it right on his door, giving him some pressure for sure.
Yeah. So it does look like Abbott was 2 wheels out on outer zone 3. Definitely a deficit for him. Doesn't necessarily zero the run, but it's going to count against him. So we've got drivers, switched. So Chris will be leading, Nicholas will be chasing. Yeah, it looked exciting, right? It gets you going, but then sometimes you just can't lose sight of the technical pieces of the puzzle. Yeah. You got to go back and analyze. You got to make sure you're making the right call. Don't let your emotions, sway your judgment, right? So here we go. One more time for a lead run for Chris. And Nicholas chasing here. He gets into the interclip, touch and go, a little shy there. Going into outer zone 1, little shy, but gets a little deeper and then comes out shy again. Going into outer zone 2. Nicholas just right there. He's like, nah, you're not leaving, man. Here I am. I'm here to stay. Right on the door. Chris maintaining in the zone. Wow. Hyped up. My heart rate, my iWatch is blowing up.
These guys are still high. Burnout off the track. Their adrenaline's pumping. Yeah, so let's take another look at this great second half of the battle here. Both drivers into that last hash mark on the inner clip, missing the touch and go. Little shy of outer 1 from both drivers, but Abbott putting the pressure on as they move into outer 2, both drivers in it. Abbott still there. Krudel into outer 3, touching the line and then flirting with the outside line toward the last part of the zone. But Abbott just not giving up, wanting to put the pressure on. He may know that there was some mistakes made on his end, and he doesn't want to jeopardize his run. Judges are going to have to take a look here pretty closely. There were some mistakes, obviously, from both drivers, but also some really great pieces of the run that could contribute to a win.
Yeah, we're looking at both runs here. I mean, you know, Mr. Trenton's going to have some homework and get us a side-by-side for rounds 3 and 4. But going back and forth here, you know, they're both hitting that inner clip appropriately. Abbott's a little bit more aggressive going into outer zone 1. He is going into outer zone 2 appropriately. Krudel, the proximity is a little lacking compared to Nicholas, but Nicholas goes outside 2 wheels possibly on outer zone 3. This is going to be a challenge.
Yeah, I think
I am nervous.
Yeah.
For myself.
Yeah.
Or for them.
Good luck.
Thanks. I'll be back.
Judges are going to make a decision here. They're going to analyze this pretty closely. They obviously want to make the right call, especially when you get to the finals. And when you have a great battle like this where there's minimal mistakes, but you have to count every one of them and determine who did actually come out on top. Yeah, you're seeing this replay again and again because the judges are really, really trying to focus on this last outer zone from Nick Abbott. You know, that possible 2 tires off could be a huge deficit for this. They want to make sure that they're actually seeing it correctly. This angle gives them pretty much what they need here, but they want to make sure that they're making the right call.
Do that again. I'll do it on my phone. Go back.
Looks like judges are locking in some decisions here. Obviously, we won't announce that quite yet on the live stream. There will be no graphic if they come to a decision of a driver or one driver or the other. We're going to take that down to the podium, announce it at the podium so that it's kind of a surprise, but also to award those drivers, kind of keep you guys on your toes. They're over there deliberating now, making some decisions and trying to figure out what it is. Don't tell me what the decision is, but do we have a winner?
So yeah, we have a decision. So we'll get the drivers right here in front of us at the judges tower. We do have a decision. So stay tuned, hang out. You know, we're gonna have a little ceremony here, maybe some burnouts, and yeah, this is it. This is the closing of round 2. Want to thank you guys for watching. Oh, I'm looking at my screen. I gotta look up there, right? Want to thank you guys for watching. Super interesting, super fun. Thank you for bearing with us, going through the gremlins here on our live stream. We want to make it bigger and better for sure. Message us, tell us what we can do to, you know, improve. And if you tell me I need to take a speech class, I won't get offended. Or what is it? Is it speech class?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever, okay? This is my first time. But thank you guys for watching. Follow us, East10 Drift. We're on Instagram. We're here. We're going to celebrate with these drivers. We're exhausted. There's a lot that goes into this. A big shout out to our sponsors, to our families and friends who support us. Wife and kids, Alice, Little Lou, Jenna. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Thank you for letting me do this. And, to our judges, Connor O'Sullivan, for coming in and helping us judge this weekend, even though he's got a busy schedule. He's got to be in Long Beach in a couple weeks. To Tony, coming up from Atlanta, the OG drifter, at one of the very first Formula Drifts at Road Atlanta. He's been with us, and he's part of our program. He is what makes us unique. Greg Busel, we'll see you, dude. Hopefully you'll be here at round 3 and 4. He'll be our third judge. Hashtag CoraWorks. Shout out to the boys down there. Hope you're having fun at Riverside, Chattanooga. What a weekend for it, right? So thank you again, Frank and the boys, Josh over there with Race Treads. You guys are putting in the work. Thank you for helping our drivers out. Shout out for you guys for helping us with the program here in our live stream, Formula Drift. Thank you for confidence in us. Drift HQ, you had faith in us this year. We appreciate that. We're going to show you what we got. We're going to do some improvements. Grip Royal, Scott and the boys, Mike, thank you guys. Of course, Alan over there and Rachel with Bridge Moto. Thank you very much. Louis Garza with AZ Rag. Oh, that's me.
Oh, hey.
Thank you. Tyler Berry for coming out, doing some announcing, getting him on this side of the sport, right?
Yeah, happy to
great
help.
working with you. Thank you very much. And, of course, XS Power Batteries. Thank you, guys. Am I forgetting anyone?
The list goes on, man. We got so many people
right?
willing to help out the series.
Wildberry Studios.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, he's going to become legendary. He's over there looking cool, on a DJ board, right? And I'm sure, I'm probably missing a few, and I'm sorry if I do, but, thank you guys. Shout out to the staff, East10 Drift. You guys are the best in the business for the ProAm organization we have here in the U.S. So we're going to take it down to the lower level there. The drivers are eager to know who won. So don't go away.
Streets of Long Beach, surrounded by skyscrapers in the Pacific Ocean.
Official, we've begun Formula Drift round 1. Let's send it!
Drivers pushing over 1,000 horsepower.
Put up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off, turn his TV off, turn his TV off, turn his TV off.
Get your tickets now.
Big things are coming to East10 Drift. We're excited to announce Friday night drifts at Newport Speedway kicking off May 16th. For years, the East10 Drift team has wanted a home track, a reliable venue where drivers and fans can come together every weekend. Now, that dream is a reality, thanks to Newport Speedway and the amazing family behind it. But that's not all. We're introducing the Battle Night Power Hour. During each Friday night drift event, drivers will go head-to-head in tandem drift battles for a full hour, and the crowd decides the winner. It all starts May 16th. and you won't want to miss it. Stay updated at East10Drift.com. We'll see you at the track.
Make some noise for the Drift Nation. Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
That's sick.
You can hear us, Trent?
That means anybody
Yep,
could,
you
like,
can
if you
hear
get
us.
more drivers. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
That means if you get more drivers, it could.
Are we back live?
Okay, so we said, yeah, we said Chris. Yeah.
I think we're live.
All right, we're live. We're making our job hard. Okay.
Good driving, man.
Good driving.
Well deserved. Well deserved. Well deserved, sir. Awesome driving.
All right, so here we are, round 2, East10 Drift, one of the Drift Championship competition. Awesome battles today from all these drivers, these 3 guys. I'm almost losing my voice. You guys are getting me excited, man. I was like, and I'm sure I was yelling in, you know, Trenton's ear, and if anybody had the volume turned on live stream, they had to lower it after hearing me. So, but no, that's what we want, right? We want you guys pedal to the metal, making us excited. That's what it's about, because then you know you're doing things right. So let's go with 3rd place. Mr. Shorkey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Consistency is key, right?
Thank you.
Podium, good job. All right. 1st and 2nd. 1st and 2nd, 1 and 2, 2 and 1.
Scissors?
Scissors, one more
Rock, paper,
time, right?
scissors?
One more times aren't ever bad.
Yeah.
Actually, that was my last set of tires.
That was your last set of tires. Well,
I had no more tires. I
so
was like, no, one more time, please.
some efficiency is key, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So super efficient. Thankfully, we didn't have to go one more time again. It was super close, but you know, yeah, great driving by both of you guys. There were a couple mistakes here and there, and obviously the winner came out strong. And so super glad to see this, because I think it is definitely well deserved and a good, you know, what is the word I'm thinking of? A good testament to, like, never give up and just keep pushing, right? So persistence is key. So Mr. Chris Krudel, congratulations, buddy. Congratulations. Congrats. Hey, you fought hard. Congratulations on your podium. 2 days in a row. Good job. All right, give it up for these guys, right? Persistence is key. Persistence is key. So catch us back here, Bristol Motor Speedway, April 25th through the 27th. We're gonna open it up to more drivers. We wanna see more drivers. We wanna see this shooken up a little bit. Keep tabs, East10 Drift, East10Drift.com. We're gonna open up registration for the 2nd half of our competition series, and we might make it a 3-day. We might have fun runs. I know we're gonna try to have some fun runs right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe see some burnouts. Do some burnouts cautiously, right? Do some burnouts cautiously. So follow us online, Instagram, Facebook. We'll catch you later. Thank you so much. I'm ready to take my shoes off, kick back and relax, make some tacos. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.
Good job, team.
Chloe's super happy now. He's no longer mad for the next 10 minutes.
Get your cars to the show stage so we can go offline after that. And we can get back to the tent for George, the trophy. Oh, did you guys get
Thank you.